you are off the hook a little bit this morning because I was texting your mate Alex, aka bbno Money.
Oh, yeah.
He was showing me this new song, and I just remembered like a few hours later, I was like, oh, by the way, Young Gravy, we've got him coming in. Anything you can tell me that could be funny? No reply. So I feel like maybe he was protecting you somewhat. I don't know.
Oh, that's hilarious, man. I don't know. It's sad. We always tour the same areas, like right after each other. It's just, I don't know. That's how it lines up. Nah, he probably is gonna come back with some good stuff right after I get off. Yeah.
Yeah, just the way that timing works.
Yeah.
You guys go way back, man. I
Yeah.
mean, for those that don't know, it's crazy because this new song, the one that got into the Hottest 100, the Rick Astley song, it's number 97 in the Hottest 100. But I mean, man, it's been years before that, and I wonder if that's a weird thing to kind of like have so many people, I'm sure, being like the new hot kid on the block, like wow, blowing up after this one song.
But it's cool because now people like if they find that song they like it, they can go back and there's a catalog. Actually, at one point I had this song Mr. Clean that blew up. I thought I was gonna be like one hit wonder. I was like, man, I really like I got to match this. And then I probably had like 4 or 5 since then.
Yeah.
Someone called me an 8-hit wonder the other day. I was like, word. I'll take that.
Also, what's so cool is like, the grind of like you studied marketing, you went to like university and then started to pursue rapping. Is there anything that you still use from your marketing degree? Like anything that stayed relevant?
I mean, when I was studying all that stuff, I was at the same time doing it all, like teaching myself all of it. And actually it made the last like year of college really easy because every project that we had to do, I had already done it and I could just submit. It'd be like, oh, make a website. It's like, all right, well, here it is.
Oh my
Or it'd be like, oh, like design a product, create a brand or whatever.
And you were already doing that for
everything.
yourself.
Yeah, there was one class where I literally think every single project I had done it and I could just submit what I had, which was really
That's amazing.
so it was cool. So I mean, I actually taught myself, and then I could go back and learn about it in class and be like, oh yeah, so like get a little extra. I was at a point in college, I was grinding so hard that I had this job where I'd work like 20-something hours a week, and I started this business on the side where we would like basically hire kids to sell pizza to drunk people. It's a long story. So I was running this company, and had this 20-hour a week job and full credits like classes, and I was like rapping. So I was like, I just learned like how to sort of manage something like that. And
that's amazing.
I was really motivated.
Who were you like inspired by in that time, like rappers and stuff?
Rapper wise in that time, oh man, I guess like musically, like stylistically, I think 3 6 Mafia has always been big for me. Juicy J in general, Action Bronson. Yeah. I always thought he was so like people who just do something mad unique.
Did you always know you were funny? Because obviously, like your songs are good, but it also it's catchy because as well there's like that humor to it.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of been my personality forever. Is just just not giving a fuck, just and putting things in music that haven't that other people wouldn't do. Trying new things and kind of it's a attention grabber sort of in a way, but it's also like I think it's interesting. It's more interesting than what other people are rapping about. And also, at first when I started making music, I was like, man, coming from like a white kid from Minnesota, like if I just go in really serious about rapping, which I wouldn't be able to do anyways. I don't think I could go in and like start just spitting the most serious like conscious shit. I was like, I'm not gonna like people aren't gonna take it seriously, so I had to like just embrace it and go with some of the humorous stuff. But it's fun, it's not like I'm trying to just like it's not like some like a parody. I think the same thing with bbno Money is like we'll just in the studio we're having a good time every time we're in the studio.
Do you think you can hear it in a song when someone might be faking it, whether that's like trying to be weird on purpose or trying to make it seem like they don't really care when they do? Like, Can you hear that?
Yeah, I think so. And I think there's a lot of artists that have tried to like kind of copy my style. There's been a number where they'll do the same, like, they'll sample something and then make, mom references and all this stuff. Where it's like they're like, just trying really hard because they saw that it worked for me. I think every artist has clones, or I guess you could say children. And there's people that try too hard at it and just like say the most wild stuff just to get it to, I don't want to name names, but there's a lot. Yeah.
A couple of sons out there.
A couple of sons.
That want daddy to notice them.
Sons that went, and didn't do it right.
And that kind of leads me, I guess, to, you mentioned the rapping about mums. Like, if you don't know Young Gravy, then if you're listening, I mean, the MILF references are a huge part of it. It's part of like what you post online. We hear about it in the songs. I mean, going to award shows with Addison Rae's mum, Lisa Ann, who, if you know, you know. That's all natural. Like, that's not something that you went, oh, that could be kind of like attention seeking. That's just a natural passion. I guess is the word passion that you've had your whole life.
Yeah. No, I'm not strictly into moms, but I've always, they're an underserviced community. They need more attention. I think the two you mentioned, like award shows, I went with Lisa Ann, Addison Rae's mom. Tried to bring Martha Stewart at one point, but she had something came up. The MILF stuff is real, but also like the internet took it to the next level where people started like DMing me pictures of their moms with their phone numbers and like really trying to like push it, which was funny. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, it's funny.
But I wasn't like, it kind of became my whole persona for a little bit, where people were literally just trying to hand off their moms. And that's like what I was known for. And then I wanted to make sure that people didn't forget the music. So then I dropped Betty, and then it came back to, oh, he's actually a rapper too. But there was a period where it was like everyone just wanted me to fuck their mom.
That may be forever, we don't know.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Can I ask you about your friendship with Martha Stewart? Totally iconic, the two of you, this fun, unlikely friendship. I want to know, like, what do you talk about when you hang out? And, like, has she given you any advice?
Good question. She's got a lot of really cool stories. Trying to think of specific stuff. I mean, she's just like any normal person. She's very humble. And, I mean, we've hung out maybe like 4 or 5 times. I went over to her place for the Kentucky Derby. And she made like mint juleps.
Did she cook for you?
Yeah, she cooked some.
Oh my God.
Wow.
It's awesome because she's just a natural. She feels kind of like just a homie. She's cool. She's like young. She seems like she's just one of the homies. She's really chill.
Is she funny? Does she make you laugh?
She's funny.
Yeah.
She's up on everything. She knows what's going on. She talks like,
oh my God.
yeah.
That's so cool.
She listens to rap.
Yeah.
She's really chill.
That's incredible, man. You've kind of got that allyship, I suppose, with, if you want to call it as a general term, like the gaming community. Like, you've linked up with Moist Critical. Of course, bbno Money hopped on games with like Noel Miller. It's such a loyal and huge and really welcoming community, and I know that like they'll embrace the right stuff. I mean, is that something that you think about?
I honestly am not quite as much into it as bbno Money. I'm just not good at video games. Usually when I do play video games, I play like, it'll be like I'll go home and like smoke a joint and like play something solo rather than like streaming it or playing like games online with people. But I've done a bit of that, and that community loves me, so I'll go, and like you said, like Moist Critical, Miskiff, all these people go on their streams just for fun. People try to like get me to do Twitch.
Did you think about it?
I thought about it, but I just feel like I don't know, I got too much going on right now. Yeah. Maybe at some point.
And it feels like, I don't know, that maybe that barrier as well is you kind of need to be really good at games to stream, right? Like actually proper good.
Yeah, I mean they'll always say like, oh, you could just do whatever. Like it would be cool to like, be on the road and just be live streaming, but also it's kind of weird. I don't like the idea of just always having people watching you.
Yeah, is that right?
I'll probably find a way at some point to do Twitch, but I do think, like you said, the gaming community is pretty cool. How I remember when I was like in middle school, high school, and I was playing video games, I would try to hide it. And like, it was not cool, It was like you wouldn't get girls if you play video games. And now some of the coolest dudes out there getting the most ass are the gamers. FaZe Banks, I met him, and I didn't know much about him or anything, and I realized that he ran this whole gaming thing, and then I was at a party with him. I was like, damn, this dude's balling out.
Yeah, right. I mean,
they make a lot of money on gaming now, and there's a lot of things that go. I mean, it's a big deal.
It's more money in gaming than like movies at the moment, So
there are, it's really wild, like Twitch and game and OnlyFans, all that stuff. There's all these new income streams that are crazy. You know?
I assume you've been asked about that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was performing on this sort of getaway thing, and then this dude just kept hooking me up with all this dope shit, like let me stay at this mansion.
Whoa.
And like was bringing me out to all these dinners with all these other OnlyFans gals and everything, and shooting videos and stuff, and it was really cool. And I was like, man, what's the catch? And then at the end, he called me. He's like, oh man, like so let's get you on OnlyFans, man. Like a lot of people always mess me about it, like, oh, you got to start an account or whatever, and I can't, man. Like even just me going to the AVN Awards and being around all the porn stars and stuff, my mom hit me up like, yo, what's going on, Matt? Like,
Really?
I don't know if I like this. And I was like, yeah, I'm not about to do. Yeah, I'm not going down that road.
And because I've heard you talk about it. I mean, we don't have to get into like any crazy detail, but I know you've talked about even having like intimate moments leaked out there, and even that would feel like, was that a bit overwhelming?
Yeah, he's talking about, I had a sex tape that got leaked on Twitter, and honestly, it wasn't that bad because it was kind of funny. Honestly, if anyone's seen
I
the
was
video.
awesome in it, so it was kind of cool.
The video was funny, and it wasn't, I feel like is best case scenario.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just trying to hide that from my mom and like from the woman that was in the video, try to like get it deleted off the internet. And then, as the days went on, I get the phone calls from whoever it is.
Oh God.
How does that go?
It was all right, man. I figured everything out. Basically, it was some guy who hacked me like over a year before that video dropped. He hacked me, got on my iCloud and had stuff. And I would randomly see photos from my phone that I was like, okay, I didn't like show up on the internet that I was like, I didn't post this anywhere. There's no way that like I knew that this hacker had my stuff still. And then when Betty was blowing up, it was like right at this moment when a lot of stuff was going on for me. He just dropped it.
Damn, of course.
Tape on Twitter, yeah. After he hacked me 2 years ago, everything's been really, really tight. And I haven't had any issues since then. But then, people keep figuring out new ways to. I almost got hacked not long ago from someone who like it was a Google employee got paid off or something.
Oh my God.
People are just figuring out every way. They have too much time in their hands.
Yeah.
Big time, mate. We got to let you get out of here, Young Gravy. The one thing we thought we'd offer you before you get out of here, it's totally up to you if you want to take the opportunity. But I know people have said to you that you have what they call a radio voice, right?
Yeah.
We've got these radio mics here. If you wanted to test it out, this is the chance. We can confirm once and for all that Young Gravy has a radio voice.
All right, I got you. What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Jack Off Hour right here on Triple J, baby. It's that turn up sultry season. You already know, baby. Stay tuned for the sweatiest, steamiest ride of your life.
A confirmed radio voice.
All right,
Absolutely nailed it.
All right, cool.